You know what else I like? I like to drink whole milk.
Ugh.
Whole milk's delicious.
Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What up, Randy?
What is up?
Oh, not much. We have a special guest in the studio. Who? My sister, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Don't be so fake.
I'm not fake.
I know.
It's fantastic.
So, get off your phone. We're recording.
So, I swear it's like being at Thanksgiving dinner right now.
But I was looking for a
Siblings fighting.
photo to show Randy how cheerleading is a sport.
Oh, we're going to...
Are we kicking off with that?
No, we're not. It was just,
So, okay, I'm interested to hear what you have to say, though. Why is cheerleading a sport?
because it takes more athletic ability, flexibility, and strength to be a cheerleader than it does to take on other sports.
So, before Randy says anything, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with why he's going to tell you it's not a sport. And
Oh,
why...
so you're going to answer for me? Okay,
Yep.
good. I'm going to push the mic back and let you two go at it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, no, because I believe it is a sport. So, indignant sniff.
So that means that he cannot defend your point.
What,
Your
Randy?
wrong point.
The reason is because there is no clear objective. You've got three people with their own observation and objective in a cheerleading competition, and it's all based on personal preference for that particular person doing the judging.
Okay, hold on. Before you
That's
answer that.
actually GW's
That was
response.
GW's, not
I was
mine.
going to
So
say,
you're
but
giving her false
that's
info.
not true because they're...
No, but what and like I said, the main, I honestly don't care. I have two boys. If one wanted to be a cheerleader, I'd say, hey, we're going to make you the best cheerleader we can. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But every time I tell a cheerleader that cheerleading's not a sport, I get the same reaction. I don't care if they're Democrat, Republican, white, black, rich, poor.
Purple.
I don't care. They all have to, they feel a need to prove why it's a sport. By definition, it is a sport. If you look at the definition of the word sport, but by definition, many other things that even cheerleaders don't consider sports are sports. The biggest argument I hear in cheerleading is, well, I say there's no offense and no defense. It is the competitions are all judged based on opinion. Now,
have you
I
ever
agree.
seen Bring It On?
Yeah, Liza Dushku, are you kidding me? I think I still have the poster somewhere. No, with cheerleading, I do agree it takes an amazing amount of flexibility. The skill level required, the strength required is insane. I do not argue that at all. But there is no cheerleading, as I see it, is primarily part of a sport. They're cheering on that team. They're leading the crowd. With cheering and competitions, the biggest thing I get is, well, it's really hard. I agree it's hard. It takes a high skill level that I do not possess. I could not go out and cheer today. So I can't sit here and say, well, I played baseball for like 12 years, so I'm in better shape than this. Bullcrap. I'm in horrible shape. I could go out and play church league softball right now, even though I'd be fat and slow. I couldn't cheer. But in cheering, there is no there's not teams together. I don't consider golf a sport, and I love golf. I like playing it. But I don't consider it a sport because there are clear objectives. In golf, there is a point system. You try to get the lowest score, you win. In cheering, it's all based upon somebody's opinion of how well you did, right? And the fact that cheerleaders say, well, we have competitions, we do compete against other teams. So do marching bands. Is marching band a sport?
Should be. I was band too.
So anyway, that's what I usually ask them, and like I said, it's mainly mess with high school kids. But to sit here right now today with adults and have a discussion about whether cheering is a sport or not, I have no business saying that.
It's fun.
Cheerleading is a full contact sport. I got 7 stitches under my left eye because I had a girl kick me in the face when she came down from a mountain.
Was it a girl from a different team?
Absolutely not. Why would I hold somebody else up
Exactly.
from a different
Because
team?
if it was, then I'd be like, hey, there's an offense and a defense.
But we compete against other teams.
Right. Bands
when you
compete against
cheer.
other bands.
Right, but I mean,
Right.
So
is lifting a sport?
No.
yes.
Yes,
No.
it is.
So-
Absolutely. So therefore, you compete against yourself. You compete against other people. You always try
By
to do
definition, lifting is a sport, yes.
that. Well, by definition and by
And
fact.
As far as the judging goes, there is an objective in the judging. It's not all based on personal opinion.
Right.
There are standards
Well,
that
it's
need
just
to
like
be held.
a lot of the
It's
gymnastics in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's like boxing.
Obviously,
the ref in the ring is the one who is basically. There's 3 judges outside.
yeah, but
and there's a
boxing's
ref.
way different.
I know, but I'm going to use that as my analogy.
Okay, you're using a really bad analogy,
I
but
know.
go ahead.
There's 3 guys on the outside that are the same thing. They're
judging points.
They're judging points based on their
But
personal
there's
opinion
also
on what they saw.
2 opposing people going against each other simultaneously.
Well, it's the same thing
Right.
with cheerleading, though, because cheerleading, when you're a judge for cheerleading, you have a checklist. You can only get so many points per category. So if your tumbling is worth 10 points and you have the best tumbling in the world for your competitions, then you get
You
those
get the
10
points.
points.
Yeah.
So, and you are competing against other teams because other teams might not have tumbling that's as well as yours. Your mounting, it may not be as well as yours. Your motions may not be as well as yours. The stiffness, the choreography, the dancing, all that may not be as well as yours. So therefore, you are competing. There is a standard. There is a baseline for what you can and cannot get per category, per competition, per event.
You're just not competing simultaneously against the other team.
And that's where I have the issue. There's no clear offense, defense. There's no clear. I do agree. You get the points based on how well you do the tumbling.
I really
That's
only
a-
brought
that's
Sarah
actually-
here so I could tag team you on
Therefore,
the cheerleading
it
thing.
is a sport.
I'm fine that you have that
I
opinion.
know. I know.
And that by definition, it's fact. Okay, fine.
It's fact.
But
Fact.
all I said in our episode where we talked about it was, to me, and here's the other thing, I'm not going to go watch cheerleading. If I am at a football game and they're cheerleaders and they say OH, I say IO. If I have a kid in cheerleading, I would go support my kid. But for me personally, well, it's like soccer. Soccer's a sport. I'm not going to go watch. It's just not a sport that I care about. Cheerleading, I would watch and cheer on a team and buy a jersey or a skirt, I guess, if
Pom-poms.
the other, right, some pom-poms and put pigtails in my hair. If you were allowed to, while the other team was trying to score their points, shoot a tennis ball cannon from American Gladiators at them, that would be a sport because you are clearly they try to do a pyramid and you knock somebody off the top of that sucker, I'm in.
It's like a freaking carnival game.
Yeah.
Even
Be
better.
awesome.
Even
Well, I mean,
better.
that
I would
would-
pay
that
$5 to take shots.
That does sound pretty fantastic, but football's a sport, and I would not just go watch a football game just because there has to be a reason for me to be there.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So we covered that. Cheerleading is a sport.
Cheerleading's a sport.
Depending
Say
on
it,
who you
Randy.
ask.
Say it, Randy. Say it.
In your opinion, cheerleading is a sport.
No. That's not what I wanted.
Oh,
So, okay, who's the oldest sibling?
me. I am.
This is awesome. I'm so glad you're here. I literally met Sarah, right? I'm
It is.
so bad with names. I literally met you like 15 minutes ago, and like the first time her and Martelle interacted, I immediately went, "This is going to be good."
Yeah. It's always.
Like,
it's always.
me and my brother. We just, I don't know. It's not the same. We don't fight. I think it's because we're both too lazy.
Oh, we don't fight anymore. It used to be. It used to be pretty bad back in the day.
Well, we fought back
Like
in the
fist
day.
fights, like
Oh, yeah.
full-fledged
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
brawls on
Yeah.
the floor.
Like throw her down the flight of steps, kick her down the flight of steps.
and the best part is like when we
That's
were
called attempted murder.
Now,
Yeah,
well, now
it
it
is,
murder.
but then it was
So,
Before
then, like, when you
sibling
broke your
rivalry.
arm, and they're like, "How do you do it?" You didn't have to lie. She really did fall down the steps.
She fell down
It
the
was
steps.
assisted.
right, but I did
yeah.
fall down the steps.
Fair.
You've seen 300,
yeah.
where he's like, "This
is Sparta
and he
kicking-
kicks him.
yeah.
I did that to her down a flight of steps.
I was like 4
No, you weren't. You were like 14.
What's the age difference?
4 years.
4 years.
Oh my gosh, you were picking on a. So at 8, you were picking
So
on a 4-year-old
hold
girl.
on. So she came out of the bathroom. Then we'll go like a few years prior to that, or a year prior to that, or a couple months prior to that. I was home because I was living up here at the time, and she comes out of the bathroom, and she goes, "If I ever say I'm fat, you can just kick me down a flight of steps." Okay.
I was 90 pounds.
She
Okay, unless you were 2 feet tall, you weren't fat.
nope. She
I
was
was
still 5'4".
5 foot, nothing, 90 pounds.
So a couple smash
Cheerleader.
cut to we'll just go a couple months later. I'm back in visiting. She comes the way that our house was set up. The bathroom and my bedroom were right next to each other, and her bedroom's on the other side of the house. But you had to walk up, like walk down to a landing and walk back up to a landing
Okay.
at the top of the stairs to get to the bathroom in my bedroom. She comes out of the bathroom and I'm in my bedroom, and she's like, "Man, I feel fat." Come right out the door, thump, down the stairs she went. I just stepped off that landing, kicked her right in the back down the stairs. She's like, "What the fuck?" No, no, no. And my mom's sitting there. She's like, "You said you were fat. You said kick me down a flight of steps." I had backing.
I mean, you asked for that one, didn't
I
you?
did.
Yep.
I did.
Yep.
But there were many other things too. Like when we were little, my parents, we would get in trouble because we were fighting, and they'd put us on opposite ends of the couch and say, "Don't touch each other."
Yeah, that
so we'd be
works
like,
out real
okay.
well.
Right.
Well, then we wound up doing foot wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay facing each other. And
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And I always wound up on the floor somehow,
And in
crying and in trouble. I always got in trouble
Because she was off the
because
couch.
I got off the couch.
Yeah, floor is lava. You can't touch it. When they tell you to stay on the couch, you got to fight to stay on the couch. That was like King of the Hill. That's just a game.
Yeah, but somehow I always was the one that
Got
got
the
in
crap.
trouble.
Well,
But you're also always the one who got away with a lot of shit in high school. I got away with nothing.
That's because
I couldn't get away with shit in high school. Even when I moved up here, I was at Scally's, got trashed off my ass. Mom and you and Dad came up for the Ohio State Fair, and the first words out of Mom's mouth were, "Heard you were blackout drunk last weekend." I'm like, I live 300 miles away. How do you know? She's like, it's Toronto. People talk.
But Brandon took me out drinking
Toronto,
Toledo's
yeah.
one weekend.
You were supposed to be my DD.
I was supposed to be the DD.
Okay, so
I
he
got,
took you out not drinking. He took you out to drive.
I took
he
her out
took
to
me out to
drive.
hang out with his friends, which was a problem. And then
Yeah,
yeah, why would you take your
He
little
took-
sister to
and
hang
then-
around a bunch
because I
of
needed
dudes?
a DD.
and then he wound up taking me to Lido's where we drank, and I no longer was the designated driver. And then we went to Taco Bell.
Underage
hold on.
drinking
And-
too, by the
So
way.
this
and on
is in
top of all
Toronto,
of it,
right?
no, this
No,
is
this is here
in Columbus.
downtown Columbus, down
Oh,
near
okay,
campus.
okay.
So
I've never
then-
heard of Lido's,
It's
but
down-
it sounds
it's-
like the
it's-
kind of bar where you can go in and not get carded.
Yeah, it's further up north. It's a campus bar further up north near Clintonville.
Okay.
No, they're just dumb enough to put an X on your hand. You go to the bathroom, and
Wash it
their soap
off.
had
Right.
alcohol in it. Dumbasses. So then he
And they
takes
didn't
me
use
out.
a Sharpie.
It was a dry erase marker.
I just picture like one of those fat Crayola markers.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
Basically.
It's washable.
And
Nice.
then took me to Taco Bell and made me eat, and then made me hang my head out the window almost the whole way home
Yeah,
so
didn't
I
want you
could
throwing
sober
up.
up, and he didn't want me throwing up. Walked in the house. He got in trouble for drinking, and I was wasted.
Yeah.
Nothing.
She got away
Nothing.
with
Yeah.
a
I was
lot
like,
of
no,
shit.
I'm just tired. Thanks.
You're a better actor.
Obviously.
But I was of age, so it didn't matter whether I was drinking or not.
I never took my brother drinking.
Why?
He DD'd a few times. All
Why?
right, because he's a man and I let him do what he wanted. Like, he hung out with us, but if he didn't want to drink, I wasn't going to make him.
Oh, I didn't make her drink.
So he drank. He drank
My
one
friends
time.
were feeding her shots.
Well, my brother drank one time. We were at a party and somebody was making margaritas, which is basically just rum and ice and margarita mix, and it was just basically rum. And my brother doesn't drink, and he had quite a few of those because they tasted good. And next thing you know, he's in the bathroom hugging the toilet singing, "I'm bringing sexy back."
That's fantastic.
After that night, and then every time we turned off the light, he'd yell that there was a monster in there with him, that kind of drunk. And after that, he never really went off the deep end again. But yeah, him and I fought growing up. We got in a fist fight one time, and we were at my aunt and uncle's. It was just us and then our cousins. The parents were all gone for whatever reason. We were in our teens, and them two are about the same age as we are, and we're also about 4 years apart. And I can pick on my brother. He's an introvert. He's kind of shy, and I just pick on him. Well, finally, he got the balls or whatever enough to actually swing on me. Ooh. After a lifetime of him not wanting to fight me, and I wasn't paying attention. He turned around and sucker punched me in the gut, knocked the wind clear out of me.
Houdini style.
Right. And as soon as he did, his eyes got like big as saucers because he knew I was pissed, right? So he turned around to run away, and I swung as hard as I could, hit him like in the shoulder as he turned, knocked him clear over and everything, and stood over top of him ready to fight. And I could tell he was done, so I was done. And then like 2 months after that, we're at our house. The cousins are down visiting us. Mom and Dad saved their whole life and built this house outside of Circleville, out in the country, nice brick home, brand new, right? It's their dream home. They're going to retire here. And he got
Did you
real
throw
mad.
a brick at Kevin?
No. No, I never start. I said I paint pictures with my words.
Yeah.
I can paint evil pictures that piss people off, especially my brother. And I got him so mad. Well, he was at the point he let that rage build up, and this kid's strong as an ox. He hauled off and punched the wall. And as soon as he's like, and he's from the other room, I hear thud. Oh no! I was like, what? And I walk in, there's this giant hole in the wall. And I mean, we hadn't had this house but 6 months, and he's freaking out. So I was like, chill, I got it. And then my cousin, that's more his age, is like, it's your fault. So Mom and Dad get home, and where they walk in, it's like on the wall they walk past, so that it was behind him. And I was like, I got to tell you something. Dad's like, what? I said, we were horse playing. Kevin pushed me. I tripped over the shoes there, and my elbow went through the wall. And Dad was like, okay. Here's how we're going to handle this. Now, my brother was going to the vocational school to learn how to do house repairs and stuff.
Right.
He said, you're going to patch that hole, you're going to sand it, and you're going to paint it. And if it looks good when you're done, nobody's in trouble. So he did that. Nobody got in trouble. Like, Kevin looked at me like, holy crap, like, you really...
He's like, you saved my ass.
Yeah, you bit the bullet for me there. And so we were cool about it. I think it was the last time we really got that angry at each other because we were, like I said, he was in high school. I was in college at the time, or dropped out of college by that point. I don't know. My first time. And
so did the parents know this story? Or
they do now.
Are they just finding it out?
No, they know. We were at dinner one time, and I said, we were joking around, and I said, calm down. We don't need you punching any more holes in walls. And Dad's like, what are you talking about? And it's been like 10 years, you know, and I was like, oh, yeah, so funny story. I told him the whole rundown and everything. He just shook his head. He was like, whatever. And now there's, not only is the patch still there, but now there's a picture hanging over it.
Nice.
Well, that makes it even better.
Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, I get the whole sibling thing.
Yeah. I love my sister.
Yeah, I know.
She's a sweetheart. Plus, she lives in Florida, and I can go visit.
That's the only reason why you like me.
That's why I'm nice to her right now.
He
Right.
uses me.
Until I move down there.
I'll say it's winter coming in, and you're going to need to be in her good graces to come visit.
Well, yeah,
Christmas is
it
coming.
snowed. Eat shit, Ohio.
Oh, I loved it.
Fucking snow.
Ice all over the trees. It was beautiful.
The ice thing was cool. The freezing rain, whatever, that's fine. If it would have just went back to 80 after that and not snowed, I would have been happy. But
There's a
course.
reason I live in Florida.
yeah, I know. It's because it's better than Ohio as far as weather goes.
Absolutely.
I think that's the only thing it's better at.
Now, they have better liquor laws, too.
We have better liquor laws.
Well, that's because it's a big
But you
old
can't get
inbred
Shiner
southern
Bock
state.
down
so
there.
it
they're
has
not gonna-
Disney.
Yeah. You can't get
Long,
Shiner.
quiet pause after that.
I love Disney.
Someone's a Disney fanatic over there.
Oh, man.
And I don't
Her-
have to
her
wear-
and her husband.
I got some friends that are big Disney freaks, and I remember when I was 12, and I'm sitting here, now I've got two boys, one's almost 5, and one's just a month and a half old. And I seriously am sitting here going, do I have to take them to Disney? Is that required of me as a parent?
It is.
No.
I don't think it is.
It's not required,
It
but
should
it is
be.
nice to have.
Our parents didn't take us to Disney.
Our parents didn't take us anywhere but going camping.
Kings Island.
We went to Kings Island once. We went more to Cedar Point. We did a whole episode on that last
Yeah.
week. Last week's episode was about going to Kings Island and seeing all the white trash down there, and then Randy's trip to Louisville.
Oh, white trash.
I shouldn't say last week. I should say 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because when this comes out,
Because
it'll
when
be
this
2
comes
weeks
out,
ago.
it'll be 2 weeks after.
That
But
was a good
anyway, so I posted a video the other day that was from YouTube that my nephew recorded of my sister singing
Yes!
the National Anthem.
I saw that, and we're going to have her sing it for you right now. Go ahead.
No.
No, I saw that. Where was that at?
That was at the Orlando Magic game at the Amway Center.
Nice.
The Orlando Magic versus the Washington Wizards.
So, and how many times have you sung the National Anthem now for Orlando?
Twice.
Twice.
That's
Once
pretty
was
cool.
8 years ago, and then
So like I've never tried because I'm not a great vocalist. I'm a musician, but I can't sing very well. But how does one get picked to do that? Like,
I have no idea.
Well,
Not gonna lie.
I just
Okay,
like see her walking outside the stadium, like, hey,
so
can you sing?
So what happens is that the Orlando Magic every year during the week of Veterans Day, they do what's called Seats for Soldiers. So they have soldiers. They give us free tickets. They
So we should clarify that you serve in the military.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I'm
Okay.
I'm an
That
E6
helps.
in the National Guard. I'm in the Army.
and you're active.
And I'm active duty. So, anyways, they
National Guard and active duty.
so it's called so that's a whole other thing, but it's called Active
gonna
Guard
say.
Reserve.
Active
So
Guard,
I
yeah.
work for the National Guard full time, so I'm considered active duty because I wear the uniform every day.
Okay.
I get paid, I get medical care, everything
Gotcha.
as if I'm active duty, but I actually belong to the Guard. So if I resign from my position, I still belong to the Guard. I'm just no longer active duty.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so they do Seats for Soldiers during Veterans Week, and the point of contact got a hold of somebody that I used to work for in Orlando, and he was, dealing with the tickets and making sure that, they had enough tickets for their soldiers, and if there were any other soldiers in the surrounding area that wanted tickets, how they could get them, and they were all free. Then he comes back and says, do you know anybody that can sing the National Anthem? We'd like to have a soldier do it. And he called me immediately and said, I know that you did this before. Do you want to do it again? And it took me a little bit because I hadn't sang in front of people in quite a few years. And I figured, what the hell? I'll do it. So I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. I'm pretty sure my kids want to punch me if they ever hear me sing the national anthem again.
I will hurt them.
Because it was
That's just un-American.
over
my niece
and
and
over.
nephew.
No, I don't think it's because I don't think it's because it's the national anthem. It's because that's all they heard.
All they heard for leading
for
up to the
about
game.
a month and a half was me singing the national anthem.
But how do you do it the first time? Because I get this time, it's like, hey, I know you did it before. What about the first time?
I used to sing at work all the time.
So they just heard you and was like, hey, you should go do this.
Yeah, I used to sing at work. I sang in high school a lot.
Yeah,
I was in the choir, and I used to do solos in high school a lot. And then I worked at Disney for approximately 3.5 months. And one of the things that I was supposed to do was sing at Disney, and I wound up dancing. And I never got to the singing portion because I got hired on active duty for the Guard.
Gotcha.
And they pay a little bit more.
A little more than a singer at
than a singer at Disney. So I've been singing for years. I just haven't sang in front of people in about 8 years.
Yeah. Very cool.
And that was a lot of people.
That was a lot of people.
Well, yeah, he told me, he said, yeah, you know, he talked about his sister about as much as I talk about my brother, I guess, just in conversation. He was like, oh, yeah, by the way, she sang. And then he showed the video, and I was like, wow. Like, I mean, you're in a professional sports team stadium in front of thousands of people. Were you ever nervous that you'd forget the words?
I was nervous that I forgot the words. And when I go out and perform, I completely black out. Like, it's like muscle memory. So I just do it. And by the time I got done, I thought to myself, one, I couldn't hear myself at all. So I have no idea what I sounded like.
Oh, goodness. I didn't even think about that because you don't have monitors or anything, do you?
I don't have monitors. I didn't have an earpiece in.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't hear. I literally just could not hear myself until I got to the last notes, and the crowd just started screaming and cheering, and I was like, okay, I must not have done so terrible. But then I heard it again, and of course you
start critiquing yourself.
You're your own
Yep.
worst critic, and I just critiqued the shit out of that. And my friends were like, what is wrong with you? You did fantastic. My friend Debbie, I love her, bless her heart. She went with me, and she's like, honey, if you would have sucked, I've been like, bitch, let's go. Let's get out of here. You don't want to show your face around here. We're moving out. Don't even change.
Well,
let's
right,
roll.
let's go.
Let's
they
go.
weren't booing, so that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
Because crowds are pretty. Being in a crowd is kind of like being online. Like, you can hide in a crowd. It's easy to boo at somebody who's down there singing by himself if you're in a crowd of thousands. So I think if you would have done bad, they would have let you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Absolutely. And after I watched the video, and I think the video that my son took, which he does ITV and stuff for school, so that's
Which
like
is
his
the video that I
favorite
posted.
thing to do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he loves
took that video.
technology. He loves to do that stuff. That's what he does in elementary school is videography and that kind of stuff. So he was pretty excited about that he got to do that. And I think that video is a lot better than the one that I posted, because the one I posted, I said, oh, hot shit, I'm never doing that again. But his sounded a lot better.
Yeah. So that
That's
video
awesome.
is posted on on our Facebook page. You can check it out. Just leap through the timeline, or I'll pin it to the top.
Yeah, you can do that.
I know I can.
You can link it in this episode, too.
I could.
In the notes.
I can do whatever I want, Randy.
That's true, because I don't care to do any of it, so you do what you
I know.
want.
That's why I keep giving you shit about posts and stuff. Anyway, I think I don't know. I don't know.
I'll sing for you later, Randy. Offline.
But Sarah's done all kinds of great shit. She is let's see, you've done taps for funeral services.
Yeah, I used to play the bugle for funeral services for military funerals.
Okay, I was going to ask, because you said taps, but you didn't say played taps. I was like, did you sing taps?
Nope. Yeah, she sang.
Brr.
She made up words for it.
Brr, brr, brr.
She made up words for taps.
Yep.
It's kind of awesome. She scats it.
Hey, y'all, thanks for coming out to this funeral today. So I throw down a beat.
You guys are ridiculous.
I know.
Yes,
this whole show's
absolutely.
ridiculous.
I love it.
This show's ridiculous.
Love it.
So anyway, we are we're gonna do a little. We're gonna move on, because I want to hear what chaps Sarah's cheeks. Pick a topic and just go to town.
People that say cheerleading are a sport.
Well, not only that. You know, one of the biggest things, this is really weird. One of the biggest things that just chaps my cheeks is when you're driving and people are driving with their frickin' blinkers on. Turn off your blinkers.
I hate people that I just say the people that don't know how to use them, because half of them don't use them at all. Those jam on their brakes and go to turn. You know, if you're following them. And the other ones, when you're going down the freeway, I get it because you're following behind them. Like, I've got in front of people that have done that before and left mine on to try and give them an idea.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
They don't get it. When I was in,
It just drives you nuts because all you hear is,
Right.
my favorite story is when I was in college. I was with my dancers that I danced with in college, and we were going to a haunted house. And on the way home from the haunted house, we were driving, and I was like, oh, my God, that guy has had his blinker on for like a mile and a half. It's driving me nuts. So the girl that was driving sped up, started honking her horns, gets in front of him, flashes on her blinkers, on and off, on and off, on and off. And he just puts his hands up like, what? What's wrong? He finally got it, but
people are oblivious.
it drives me insane. Like, it is one of my biggest pet peeves in the world. Turn off your god fucking blinkers.
You even got the dog mad.
Even Charlie's all riled up.
Charlie, we got another mascot in here today.
Yeah, we have a new dog in studio.
Charlie is
today.
Sarah's, as she called him, fur baby.
baby.
He's
And
my
who
fur
is
baby.
wearing a flannel
PJs.
with a bow tie.
Yeah,
He looks so dapper.
dapper.
Oh, my gosh.
He's so dapper.
He's so dapper. Look
He's
at
so
him. He's
dapper.
Like a dog in flannel
fantastic.
pajamas with a bow tie. He's literally sitting here going, if I could sprout opposable thumbs, I would take this crap off.
No, he won't.
He-
He
no,
won't
he
let me take it
fights.
off last
Are you
night.
serious?
I
He
swear.
fights. It's the weirdest thing. So
Your dog's bougie.
He is bougie.
we talked about this.
You're welcome.
Back in August.
It ain't
That's
my
when the
dog.
whole-
You do your thing.
The
Love
whole
it.
Fur Baby episode was actually recorded back in August. That was released last week, and the dog loves to wear clothes.
That's weird to me.
Me
It's
too.
not natural.
But he fights to get the clothes off. Like, you can't. He doesn't want to change. He just wants to leave it on. Like, she tried to take the PJs off of him last night, and he stiffened up his legs so that you couldn't take the shit off.
That's so weird.
He's
He
just
loves it.
Your smile.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
He loves it.
So, what do you got, Randy? What chaps your cheeks today?
People who think cheering's a sport.
I will fuck up your world.
Would it be like the time you told me you'd kill me with your pinky and then I broke it?
No, I was a dumb private at that
Then
time.
I kicked you down a flight of stairs.
Right out of boot camp, we're sitting on my dad's couch, and she's like, I could take you down with my pinky. I just grabbed her pinky, bent it all the way back to her wrist. I'm like, yeah, how you going to do that now?
Crying in the fetal position like a little bitch.
What
Nice
chaps
try.
my cheeks? One of the things that chaps my cheeks is when somebody has a skill. So your son's getting into videography and stuff. You sing. Martelle, I don't know. You
I'm
lift
a
weights.
master
You
of
don't do
all
anything.
trades. Jack of all trades, master of none.
You don't do anything.
do.
Took you a year to build a deck.
Took me 5 years to build a deck,
You
thank
could
you.
have hired a Mexican and paid less and have it done quicker.
That's racist.
It's factual, actually.
Well, no, it is.
No, one of the things though is as a musician, and I've been blacksmithing. Are we letting that one go?
No, I was just going to say that I had a buddy that used to say Mexicans will do anything for $3 in a case of Coronas. So,
And then Sarah got her landscaping done.
and I got my, but they were all white.
How much did you pay? They were all white.
She paid $21
$6, yeah.
and a bunch of Coronas. And a cake of Corona.
I did,
White guys
however.
don't drink Corona anymore, do they?
I don't know.
I
think
used to, and then
that's a
because it was
white
like the
guy
cool
thing.
thing to do when I was in college. It's like, oh, you're all drinking Natty. I drink Corona, and then I got older and tasted a better beer, and I was like, Corona's pretty gross.
It's like piss water.
It is
Yeah.
piss water.
I used
like-
to defend it, and then I finally went, why am I defending this?
It's like
not
trying to
good.
drink a Bud Light or like a Natty Light. It's piss water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jack piss.
So-
See, someone else agrees with me that the shit is disgusting.
I agree.
It's
no,
diet. It's alcoholic water.
the thing that chaps my cheeks is when somebody wants to hire you or whatever, and I have people that are like, hey, can you make me a knife? Well, I do blacksmithing and knife making as a hobby. It's something I do when I feel like it. It's something I do when I'm not with my kids. You know, I work a 40-hour plus sometimes a week job. I have 2 boys now. I have a wife at home. I play music. And there's just a lot that takes up my time. So when somebody says, can you make me a knife? I'll start saying, okay, what kind of knife do you want? Do you want a fixed blade? Do you want, and I'll go through the whole process.
I want a work lever.
And that's fine.
I sent you the
Here's
picture.
the problem. Yeah, I don't know where that picture's at. Hope you saved it.
I did.
So
It's on my Pinterest board.
you do
But
not
of
have
course it is.
you do not have a Pinterest.
But of course it is.
Of course I do.
Because
You
you're
really
a
have
homo.
a Pinterest?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it.
He's
in
a
probably
homo.
year
Are
and a
you
half.
kidding me? Of course
I
he
never
has a
knew
Pinterest.
this. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Let's pick on Martelle.
Whatever happened to Mantresting?
What?
There used to be a site called Mantress, which is Pinterest
Oh,
for
that
men.
website turned into straight porn.
That's what
Pinterest
happens
for
when you let guys
That's what
run
happens.
the internet.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, they'll say, well, this is that. I'll say, look, I'll have it done in 6 months to 12 months, and it'll cost you $120. And you'll hear, well, I can get it at Walmart for $30.
Then go fucking buy it.
Then
at
go to
Walmart.
Walmart and buy the Bear Grylls cheap Chinese steel knife for $30. Or here's the thing: as the musician, hey, we want you to travel 4 hours to play this show. We can't pay you much, but it'll be really good exposure.
That's not exposure.
It's never exposure because
No.
it's 12 people at your festival because it's 94 degrees outside and you're in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And we're not opening for some big rock band.
So
We
no
used to
one's
get that
showing
all
up
the time.
No
when
one's
we
showing
had-
up to see whoever
No.
the whatever is.
You
There-
can't
it's a
pay
festival.
exposure.
No.
Nobody has ever gone to one of those. Everybody
that.
thinks that you'll go to the show and there'll be some bigwig producer like Dave Grohl's going to stroll by and be like, "This is the next big band.
Hell yeah,
I'm bringing
yes.
them on tour with me."
He's strolling right on through.
He may, but that's not going to happen.
No.
Hey, I thought that was going to happen when I sang the national anthem. It didn't, by the way.
It still could.
I was on national TV on a survival show where I walked through the desert for 6 days. We hiked 30 miles, and I thought, actually, it was international TV. This might be something. That was 3 years ago.
Mine wasn't
He's
on
still waiting for his
international
call.
TV
I
because
still have to go to work tomorrow.
they didn't play the national anthem live on TV.
No.
Yeah, so you didn't even get that.
Which that chaps my cheeks, but that's not my subject. That drives me insane that they don't play the national anthem when they're doing games.
But they never used to play it.
I don't care. They need to start doing that shit. Like, it drove me nuts back then that they didn't do it.
I mean, they always did it. It was just not on the air.
It was
because
never on the air. They need to
Let's
do it
be
on
honest,
the air.
let's be honest.
They only do it. Hold on. They only do it when a major celebrity comes in.
Okay.
You get Shakira in there and
Let's be real
shake
honest.
her hips,
When
and she fucking gets
it
on the
comes
air
on the
for
TV.
it.
I'll shake my hips.
Speaking of while she was dancing in college, my girlfriends used to dance at this club to get through college.
No. I was on the dance team. It was legit.
The
At what
dance team.
college?
Right state, wrong college.
That's right.
Every college is the wrong college. No, what gets me, though, is when everybody's getting on a fuss over Colin Kaepernick kneeling, I guarantee you, every pasty white dude that was complaining about a guy of a mixed race or whatever he is, who was raised by white parents kneeling, was sitting in a recliner eating chicken
Affluent
wings.
white parents. You forgot
I
that
don't
part.
care. That's irrelevant. But everybody that complained about people kneeling the national anthem, if I see it on TV, I don't stand up. I probably should.
I don't stand up at home.
And
No.
the thing is, I
I
come
do.
from a very
Well,
I come from a military family. My grandpa served 21 years as an EOD. He fought through Vietnam. He was an E9.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah,
So-
he was awesome.
so speaking of that, everybody in our family served except for Dad and myself.
wow, what are you doing with your
Don't
life?
be a shitbag.
No. Hold on.
Way to go, you selfish bastard.
That had nothing to do with me. That was that Sergeant
come up
Barracks
more often.
dickhead from the Marines.
Well,
He
you
fucked
shouldn't
that
have.
up.
You shouldn't have been trying to be a Marine. You
I
could have gone to
He's
the
wanna
not
Army.
be a
smart
Marine.
enough to do anything else.
I didn't want to be a Marine.
He could be infantry. They're meatheads. He's fine. He'd work just fine.
I've got two brother-in-laws who are both Marine infantry.
I
Oh
was
no,
trying-
he could have
He
gone
fits
Army
right in with
infantry.
them. I don't know.
No. The goal was to go Coast Guard to get my pilot's license and then move to the Army.
You should have done the Air Force if you were going to do that.
Well, I couldn't. I had a better choice of getting. I had a better chance of getting my license through the Coast Guard than I did.
you had to
than
But you have to
the
wear
Air Force.
glasses.
didn't
You can't
even-
see worth a shit.
I have to wear glasses now. I didn't have to wear them back in high school.
Oh.
But that's why I couldn't get in the Army, is because my vision wasn't good enough for the Army, but it was good enough for Coast
I'm
Guard.
hearing a whole lot of excuses.
And then we had this asshole that just fucked everything up because he would show up from the Marines. He was a recruiter. He
Was a
called-
douchebag.
The guy called me probably 2-3 times a day for about 4 months before I graduated high school, trying to recruit me. It got to the point where
That's
we
pretty
were
annoying.
getting ready to file a harassment suit.
That's because he was a track star and looked like Vanilla Ice in high school.
I had long hair.
Long, sexy hair.
Yeah, I did.
Ice, baby.
You're like if Rob Van Winkle and
I
Zach
did not
Morris
look
had
like
a kid.
Rob Van Winkle. Who's Zach Morris?
Shut up.
From Saved by the Bell.
We went over this with an episode we recorded a few weeks
I
ago.
never watched Saved by the Bell.
You're such a bitch.
I know.
I like her.
I know.
You leave. She needs to be the new podcast host.
Well, she can be. She can. I'll just produce this shit. I don't
Whoop,
care.
whoop.
Her name is. She can go by Martelle. It doesn't matter.
True.
I could.
We got the better Martell now.
I mean, you got the female version.
Oh,
You got the
man.
one with tits and more attitude.
You could get tits if
She
you
got
wanted
tits
to.
and tude.
Hey, just eat a little bit more. You'll grow some tits.
And I don't want tits.
Hey, whoa. Okay, let's calm down. It's a little too close to home here.
Tits, tats,
what
and
were we
tude
talking
right
about?
there.
I had a comment to make on something we were talking about. Now I've lost it.
Good.
You're welcome.
This is how the show goes.
This is
Welcome to
what it
Buckhorn
is.
Podcast. This is every week.
It's random. It's
just,
fine.
We switch topics like we switch gears and underwear.
Wait.
What?
You're supposed to change them every day.
Oh. That's what Beth was talking about. Sorry, honey. No, I forget. It was something. Oh, yeah, you're talking about not being smart enough or whatever, because I have two brother-in-laws that are Marine infantry, and they're the epitome of. One was a mortarman, became an instructor, and the other was a machine gunner, and
Yard
they
is.
own it. I mean, they
Okay,
own
well,
it.
so we're clear. There's different intelligence levels for each force.
Absolutely.
Like the Air Force, you got to be super, super, super fucking smart, even do the dumbest jobs.
Yeah.
The Marines,
You have to be able to zip up your pants and tie your shoes.
exactly.
That is the
about
requirement.
it.
Is the
The Army, you have to be able to put your left foot in first because we do everything left first. So,
Really?
Literally
Now, I will say the
left
Marines
foot first.
dress blues, the
Are
baddest
tight.
uniforms
Oh,
in the
Lord.
entire
Hey,
military.
But I will say that the Army is going back to their pink and greens, which is the tan khaki uniform.
Yeah.
Tan khaki dress uniform.
Those are sharp.
They're
But the
sharp.
dress blues are like,
But
I don't know.
There's nothing better than the Marines dress uniform.
Yeah, it's sick.
I'll say it. I wore my dress blues when I sang the national anthem, and I was like, "Oh, I look good in this. Can't wait to put on my pink and green."
I like sailors.
See, my,
Because you're a homo.
when I lost all the weight to join the military, I was going to go Navy, and I got a lot of crap. My grandpa was Air Force.
You wanted to be a seaman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First class.
Seaman
A sea
Nelson.
bitch.
Well, here's the thing. My grandpa, he grew up, everybody started getting drafted, especially as Vietnam was kicking off. And he saw a lot of his siblings, cousins, all this, were getting drafted by the Marine Corps and the Army. And he's like, well, screw that. I'm going to go pick where I go. So he went Air Force because he's like,
Smart man.
I don't need to go sleep in a ditch.
Smart man.
Well, he was so
can sleep on
smart
a
that he
boat.
went in and straight out after basic training, they were like, hey, you're awesome at everything and you're brilliant. You want to go be an EOD? And he's like, what's that? So he went, blew through all that, became a master blaster, hit E9 in 17 years, fought in Vietnam. Like, I didn't know a lot about him until after he passed away because he didn't talk a lot about it.
right.
Like, we found a newspaper clipping, and it was him in just a T-shirt in a ditch with muddy water up to his waist in a spud bar, breaker bar. And the caption read, Chief Master Sergeant Nelson digs for live munitions in whatever city, Vietnam. And I was like, this dude's literally there with a metal bar, like moving it slowly to try and find some kind of explosive.
Right.
Standing in a ditch.
That's
Like,
badass.
yeah.
I'll tell you that's badass.
So
Like,
I wanted to, when I lost 170 something pounds back about 8 years ago, right before he passed away, because I wanted to join the military. I wanted to be EOD. Well, Grandpa, of course, he's like, you got to go Air Force. Air Force is by far, you sleep in hotels, you know. You get,
they
like,
treat you. I'll tell you this: they know how to manage their money a hell of
Yeah.
a lot better than the rest
And
of the
especially
force.
him
Would you
as
say
an
they're the
E9.
Zach Morrison of the armed forces?
Morrison.
The
whatever his name
Zach
is.
Morris.
Doesn't matter. I don't
You're
watch
gonna
Saved by the
You're going to
Bell.
watch Saved by the Bell. So, yeah, but he was like, Air Force is obviously the nicest. I was like, but you ended up doing that stuff. Like, you were in really bad situations, but especially being an E9 in the Air Force, he would drive onto a base, and it got to the point where they saw who he was. They just get out of his way because they're like, that dude may have a live bomb with him. So I lost all the weight. I wanted to go Navy because the Navy trains all the EODs for all the branches. But the Navy's the only one that you're like guaranteed to get dive trained. The other branches do it, but very few. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be able to go underwater and work too. So that's the only reason I want to go Navy. If I couldn't go EOD in the Navy, I'd probably go in Air Force.
Air Force is the better branch. I love the Army. I will tell you that when my godfather walked down the street and said, "Hey, you're being fat, dumb, and lazy here, and kind of acting like a piece of shit since you've gotten home from college and you're not doing anything. So let's go take a walk."
Well, that was because I had to bring you home because of mono.
Right, but I was still being a piece of shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, nothing's changed.
Oh no, a lot's changed.
You're still a piece of shit.
No, I'm bougie as fuck. There's a difference.
Yeah, there's that too.
So I I went and talked to a recruiter, which I told the recruiter, I was like, no, I want to go Air Force. I want to wear blue. I don't want to wear green. And he was like, oh, well, then you're talking to the wrong person. And I was like, but can't you just hook me? I was this dumb. Can't you just hook me up with an Air Force recruiter? No, you can't do that. So I signed my life away to the Army and said, well, I'll only do this for 6 years. I'll get through college. I've been in for 15, and I don't have any other skill but the Army.
You said 6, you've been in 15, so you're in the right
She's a
branch.
lifer.
You're not smart enough to be in the Air Force. You numbered wrong.
Yeah.
you lost.
Well,
you forgot how to count.
I signed for 6, and then when my 6 years was up, I was like, I'll do this again. And I signed my life away for another 3, and then another 3.
and
And
it just kept going.
And
Yeah,
and
my
another
buddy.
3.
now she's here.
My buddy joined. We were 22 roommates, worked at the same distribution center. And then one day he's like, hey, I've been meaning to tell you I joined the Army. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I ship out next week. Okay, so he'd done the whole
Shit.
recruitment thing and all this and never told me. And I was like, well, I
He didn't
guess
want
we're
you to
not
talk you out of
roommates
it.
anymore. And I wasn't going to talk him out of it. He knew my grandpa. I'm, if that's what you want to do it. And for him, honestly, he needed it because he was a moron. And now he went and became a airborne infantryman, and then he's like an IT now or something, but he's been in like 15 years.
yeah, I got looks of, what the fuck should you do that for? Because I'm not going to sit around fucking Toronto for the rest of my life.
Why? It's so great there.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I mean, they have the Toronto as fuck arts festival.
God, I cannot believe I forgot my shirt.
I also forgot to get the Fred Durst signed hat from you.
I got to make sure.
I
I double
saw-
checked. I got to double check to make sure I have it.
I saw a video on YouTube. It was one of those things I was scrolling, and one video leads to another, and it was where one of the idiots from Insane Clown Posse tried to kick Fred Durst. So I was like, "Oh, I'm going to watch this."
Fred
because-
Durst, the singer, or
Yeah.
Fred Durst, the porn director?
I didn't know he was a porn director.
Yeah.
Well, he was on stage singing. He wasn't on a porn set. That's not on YouTube.
So the singer.
So he's on stage. He's wearing a bucket hat, like the old 90s bucket hat. Has
Yeah.
a big beard. Like looked nothing like I remembered him.
God, and he was singing for the Nookie.
And he's right, and they're putting on a show, and there's a big crowd. I don't know where it was, but it was a substantial crowd.
It must have been the Sunoco or the Ohio or whatever
Probably.
it was down south of Lancaster that
It
everybody.
was a few thousand people, I'd guess.
Yeah, it's probably at that.
But I was like,
That's
man, I
Ohio.
forgot to get that Fred Durst signed hat because I want to wear it.
I'll
So
have to-
people go,
I have
whose
to double
autograph is?
check.
And I'm like, Fred Durst, just to see the reaction.
I have to double check to make sure I still have it.
I
I
hope you
looked
do.
briefly and I didn't see it, so I'll have to tear
I
it.
looked briefly, you're like,
I
not
looked,
there.
I looked up on the shelf and went, I don't see it. So, all right, enough about you two. Now you guys are going to play a game. The Urban Dictionary game.
I like games.
Yeah, well,
Do you know the Urban Dictionary game?
No.
Oh,
okay. So,
Are we keeping score, or is this like cheerleading where you just get to pick a winner?
I'll fuck up your world.
I am going to keep score because I want to see how you guys do. And we've got a lot of questions and not a lot of time. So, here we go. I'm not even going to play the intro music. We're just going to get right into it.
Oh, I'm so tired.
I want you guys to tell me what imaginary lat syndrome is.
Imaginary lat syndrome.
Imaginary lat
Like
syndrome.
LAT.
latitude.
LAT. Lat.
We should probably
Imaginary-
take turns going first.
Well, so,
So I'll let her-
I'll take care of all that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
I
giving
just
you
let you
the
produce.
I'm giving you the term, and you tell me what you think the
Imaginary
definition
lat.
is. Imaginary lat syndrome.
And I can't Google this.
No.
phones.
So Sarah, what is imaginary lat syndrome?
Where you think you know direction.
That's good. That's good.
That's actually not bad.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. What do
I
you got,
joined the
Randy?
Army.
Imaginary lat syndrome is talking about the latitorical muscles in your neck region.
Okay.
And having imaginary lat syndrome is where you think you can lift more than you can. And that's all I got.
All right.
So Brandon Martell
Yeah, he doesn't have lats
I
at all.
don't. Well, I don't. I
He
have
do some more of them shrugs.
thinks he
I
can
got-
lift
I
more
got
than he
some.
can.
Now, well, at this point, I can because I'm not deadlifting or cleaning or jerking.
You're kinda getting
Clean
fat,
and
too.
Jerk, as much because I haven't been able to hit the gym as much as I like to. But so you're both wrong. But Randy, you were the closest, so I'm going to give you the point for that. Imaginary lat syndrome is where you literally walk around like you overcompensate for the lats that you don't have, so you bulk up.
You kind of posture
and you
up.
walk and you do the whole Chris Farley like, oh, where's the gym at? Oh, it's over there. Yeah.
Roof that way? Oh, no, it's that way? Okay, cool. Yeah, cool.
I can't help but notice how much you're flexing while doing this.
It's because it's imaginary lat syndrome.
That's because Brandon has it.
Fuck you. All right.
It doesn't count, but I'd give you a point for that.
Thanks.
Just for making fun of it.
That's a bonus point just for fucking with me. All right, so this one's good, and neither of you are going to come close to this, so it's both a 0 for you.
That means usually when he says that, it's something really, really gross, sexually
Ready?
perverted.
Fantastic.
disgusting.
Ready? This term, Kevin.
Okay, first off, that's my brother's name.
I know, that's why I
Hey,
chose
I
it.
just think of Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Should Mom turn off the
Oh, yeah.
My mom listens.
Yeah.
She should probably
At
turn
this
it off.
point,
She
yeah.
thinks it's funny.
At this point, yeah, Sharon,
She
turn
told
it off.
Grandma asked if she should listen, and my mom said, they're really funny, but Randy's friend has strong language. It's how she said it to my
language,
grandma.
Strong language.
My grandma, the pastor's wife.
I drop F-bombs.
Kevin. I feel
Kevin.
like somebody sent me this one before because of my brother's name, and I can't remember it.
I want to say.
Oh, hold on. Randy.
Oh, my bad.
We're not doing buzzing.
I never learned how to
hear
take
both of them.
turns.
Yeah,
in
well,
school.
Kevin is
I know.
when it has to do something to do. I bet it has something to do with screaming the name Kevin. Whether that be because they did something gross or because it's something sexual, I don't know. But I kind of like a Buckhorn bellow.
okay.
I feel like yelling Kevin has to do something with the Home Alone.
Kevin!
That's all I got though. I
Okay.
can't even think of what somebody would make up for a name.
All right. What do you got, Sarah?
That's like I somebody like, hey, you see what Urban Dictionary means when you for the name Larry?
You're right.
I kind of
I don't know.
feel the same way as Randy about the whole Kevin thing, but I'm going to go and add a little bit more to has to deal with poop and buttholes.
Oh, poop and buttholes.
And buttholes. I was
Buttholes.
thinking that.
You know, something sexual with buttholes and shit.
No, neither of you are right on this one. I can't even score either of you.
Well, I mean, if we didn't get it, we didn't get it.
Right. So Kevin, an old-fashioned dildo used in ancient Greece that was made of wood. They went out of style due to women getting splinters in their vaginas.
Wow.
There you go.
I feel like those should have never been in style due to splinters and vaginas. I feel like they should have been in anything.
Right. Well, it shouldn't have been, but
Apparently, they didn't have any like smooth lacquer finish in the old days.
no. They just used poop and buttholes.
I mean, I don't have a vagina. I don't have a vagina, but I can't imagine like being so desperate sexually to be like, "Hey,
Polish
I want to
that
stick
wood.
that log right up there."
Polish that wood. Get it,
Oh.
Kevin.
I mean, they could have just sanded it down a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, you would think, but still, I mean, it's not like they went down to Ace Hardware and got
Here,
sandpaper.
let me get this tree branch.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
And stick
who's
it in
sitting there
my
going
hoo-ha.
like, "Hey, stop."
Let me stick it in my my hoo-ha. Oh, that feels good.
Oh, splitter.
How do you get that splinter out?
You got to go see a healer.
They didn't have tweezers back then.
No,
did
they
they?
they had healers, and they prayed to the gods. Zeus and Poseidon will take care of it. Or maybe Athena.
Either that or something's going to get infected and you die.
Well, that was probably the case.
Aphrodite, she was the goddess of love.
She was. Maybe she took care of it. She went in and she popped it out.
Came down from the heavens to get out your vagina splinter. Like she got nothing better to do with her day.
That should be a hashtag. Vagina splinter.
Hashtag vagina splitter.
Oh. Yeah,
So-
so one of our, speaking of your foul mouth, my wife has finally decided to check out our podcast.
Oh,
Now
yeah?
we're like 20-something episodes in. And the last one was the one where like Martelle put in one of the weirdest descriptions due to my uncle's juvenile brain and was talking about a phallic region of Zeus on a statue of a game they played.
Zeus's dick.
And some other things. And Beth was like, she read it, she's like, so now the descriptions are getting a little weird.
I just talked about what we
All
talked
right.
about.
Now we're talking about giner splinters.
Well, this one can be controversial. I'm not looking for the controversial on this definition. Ethnic cleansing.
Who's going first?
Sarah is, because the look on her face. She's just shaking her head. She's like, oh, no. Ethnic cleansing.
This is something that I think that I want to do to most white men that think that they're black. I would like to ethnically cleanse you, honey.
So you want to educate them.
You use white.
You white.
honey, you is white.
That's good. That's good. That's not one of the definitions listed here.
I think
but that is a good one.
That is a good one. I think
Every time you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of our cousin Mike. I want to ethnically cleanse you,
Our brother
honey.
Mike.
You white, honey. You is white.
your brother.
My
Yeah.
brother.
Does he wear FUBU a lot?
No,
He used to.
Oh, see, there it is. She should have
Not
been on the
anymore.
fashion episode.
So, all right.
I think ethnic cleansing it's obviously Montezuma's revenge. You ate some ethnic food or drank some water of another country, and you are blowing it out both ends.
Wow, Randy.
Is that it?
That's so close. So close. The act of... Oh, no. That's the wrong one. That's not what I wanted. The inevitable bout of flaming hot diarrhea that occurs after eating certain ethnic cuisines. Thai and Italian cuisines are notorious for this. After ethnic cleansing, the entire digestive system is vacant or cleaned out.
There you go. I know street slang, man.
You do.
I don't.
It's because I'm black.
I'm white.
See, playing this game just absolutely astounds me because Randy hasn't seen any of these.
No, I don't look at any of them.
And I randomly
I don't
pull
even get
shit
on
up, too. So
Urban Dictionary. He
that's
pulls
what I
it
did
up.
today.
That's why he didn't plug the TV in this time, so I couldn't
Yep.
see.
I'm going to go back to my high school days, and I'm blonde, and I don't have street smarts.
Yeah.
I'm in the Army.
Duh. Big red truck.
I'm a cheerleader.
I'm a cheerleader. I'm a cheerleader.
Big red truck.
Duh. My favorite joke.
Saddlebacking.
Ooh.
Yeah. This one's good. So I will give a hint that this has a religious connotation to it to help you out.
Well, that's good you said that because that's not where I was going to
That's
go
not
with
where
it.
I was going with it either.
So what do you got, Randy?
A religious saddle backing?
Saddlebacking.
Yeah, I was going more into the kink fetish thing.
Strap on.
Kind of. I mean, I was picturing those weird people that literally like want their, what are they called? The ones that get controlled? Subs?
Subs, yeah.
Subs.
Like,
Doms.
have
Doms
to
and
dress.
subs.
Okay, so whichever one's not in control, they make them wear like a saddle and a horse bridle and stuff. That's what I was thinking.
The sub.
The sub.
So saddle backing with a religious connotation
Yep.
might be the same thing just for the Catholic Church.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Make something up, Sarah. You can't just shake your head.
Yeah, they can't hear your head shake.
You can't hear the rocks rattling around.
I know. You should.
Shake it harder.
Loud enough.
Shake it closer to the microphone.
I don't
I
know.
wish I had a
really
Baraka
don't.
right then.
Saddlebacking. So I was going with more of the sexual content of saddlebacking with getting it from behind, strapping on a strap on.
Strap it on, strap on.
That's what you do with those. It's
what
weird they named it
that's the
that.
term.
When a girl straps it on and gets a guy from the back because they're actually
That's called
really
pegging.
That you know what, I learned that the other day. By the way,
I'm not going to ask how.
really weird conversation I had with a soldier
At work. Because he was
during
into it.
during
It's
the
funny she called the Navy guys gay.
during the hurricanes. Anyway,
During the hurricane, like, well, I'm bored, so let's talk about.
yeah.
talk about-
Don't look. Let's not talk about what we talked about on hurricane duty, or the people we see. So, yeah, I don't know. I was going more for the sexual connotation, but let's add in some holy water for cleansing.
There you go.
That's good. That's pretty good. So it is of a sexual connotation.
So we were right. You threw us off.
I didn't throw you off. I just said it was.
Okay, well,
it
read
had
it
a
and
religious thing.
I'll call
Saddlebacking
you
is
an
a
idiot.
term for the phenomenon of Christian teens engaging in unprotected anal sex in order to preserve their virginities. Named after Saddleback Church, home of the Reverend Rick Warren, who is a proponent of absence, education, the sexed, that is convinced many Christian girls and boys that butt fucking isn't actually sex.
That
I
was
have
a
no words.
Very.
It's a lengthy term.
It's a lengthy term, and it was very
good
specific
Yes.
to a certain
So
church name.
a girl puts on a strap on and does a boy from the back.
If that's what he wants.
Wow.
As long as it's not
I mean, it just says
the
boys
ding
and
dong
girls.
and the hoo ha.
Right.
You're fine.
Right.
That reminds me of that Family Guy episode where the parents found out all the kids were having sex, but they were still virgins. And they were like, "How?" And they said it was in the ear. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, it was funny
So
because like at the end they're like talking about their. She's like, "No, it's somehow in my ear," and I lost it. But yeah,
we're
that
not
was,
even going to talk about the kid in high school who stuck his dick in someone's ear.
I don't want to talk about it.
So
and that's how Brandon got evicted.
nope.
Evicted,
but-
been expelled.
Seeing this reminds me of something when the term when I call people names while I'm driving. I called some guy. Well, I've referred to butt fucking and told him to get his butt fucking car out of my way.
I've never seen an Autobot do that.
Me
I know.
neither. Pretty interesting.
One of those assholes in the left lane when you're trying to pass doing 80 and he's doing 65, and it was just pulled up behind him and like. It may be a new term, I don't know, but I just got as close as I could to his bumper. I'm like, move your butt fucking car. And just...
Yeah, I don't think that's a new term.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe we wanted to try to do butt fucking as a automotive term for driving. When you're tailgating.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep calling that driving.
All right. Well,
I'm just driving my car.
Well, I was tailgating.
You do whatever you want with yours.
All right.
Watch the rusty exhaust pipe.
Nope.
Forget splinters. You're going to have a different set of problems.
Tetanus. And this is what this show is all about.
That's why I always knock on the door. You never know what Martelle's doing with the Audi in the garage.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
All right, so we got a couple more. I'm going to have to jump through these. This one I like. This one's called The Angel's Touch.
Oh, no.
Sarah.
What? No, I went first last time.
No, you didn't. Randy did.
Yeah, I did saddleback.
Because we did saddlebacking.
The Angel's Touch.
The Angel's Touch.
When you only put the tip in.
Wow. That's good. That's good. What you got,
Any
Randy?
orifice, but just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip.
Just the tip.
in your ear.
Angel's Touch.
In your nose.
No, this has to do with something kinky with a feather. There's definitely a feather involved. The whole wing thing.
Okay.
Maybe a halo.
Okay.
In
Something
the
to
tip?
do with a feather and something circular or, an orifice maybe. I don't know.
You don't know? All right.
Yeah, in the ear.
In the tip.
So,
Oh.
Just the tip.
so this pertains more to guys than it does the females. When you're peeing or shitting and your dick touches the urinal or toilet where other dicks have probably been.
Nope. Nope.
That's
Yeah,
gross.
That's pretty nasty. That's
Disgust-
foul.
Okay, hold on. Maybe it's because I am white, even though I said I was black. I've never had a problem with mine touching a urinal. How close are these guys standing to urinals?
It beats me.
I mean,
They're
urinals
sitting.
They're sitting in the urinal, front facing, teabag in the urinal.
Teabag in the
teabag
urinal.
in the urinal.
I've never had any part of my junk or its region get near touching a urinal.
I haven't either. I don't stand that close to a urinal to want to
I
rub
feel like
my
you have
dick
to
on it.
try.
Not only do you have to try,
I feel like that's gross.
it is.
Absolutely.
So our
I
next
used the
one.
urinal today at church. He had to go pee before church started,
Oh,
so
yeah?
I took him in there, and he used the urinal because we don't have a urinal at home, So
Well,
he's
it's the
like,
cool
I
thing
said,
to
do you
do.
want to use the urinal or do you want to use the potty like we have at home? He goes, this one. He was like fascinated by it, so he pees, and he reaches up and he pulls the lever, and he's watching it. And my kid, you have to know my kid is a 4-year-old genius because he wants to know how everything works, and he watches YouTube channels that break down how stuff. He's going to be like an engineer, something way smarter than me. And he's just
already
like-
way smarter
He was
than you.
like, "Wow, look how that flushes." And I thought he was going to like reach in and try and touch the water. I was like, "Hey!"
Don't touch
I got
that.
about freaked. I was like, "Let's just watch it from here." Sorry, what's the next one?
Oh no, the other one. The next one. So the Bosnian seesaw. Yeah, it's good.
I'm first on this, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
The Bosnian seesaw.
Bosnian seesaw.
This has to do with a position of a canine origin, sexual position of a canine origin, where instead of just kneeling behind a partner, they actually get up on top of them like they're teetering, rocking back and forth. That's the Bosnian seesaw. You got like the yoga downward doggy and then somebody
Right.
on top of them. Seesaw,
Okay. All right.
rocking back and forth.
What you got, Sarah? Can you come up with something else? I mean, you're speechless at this point.
You can't hear it, but she's laughing and not breathing, and she kind of turned red.
Well, this happened when she was like 5, and she passed out. We had to take her to the hospital. So
There's a snort. Oh, I hope that comes through.
I can't. I've got nothing. Sure. What he said.
can't pick the same
But,
damn
but
thing.
the other person's doing a headstand instead.
Oh, that'd be real complex.
That's, woof.
Sounds like something only cheerleaders could do.
I know.
That's right. 'Cause
And
it's a
contortionists.
sport.
So no,
No.
both of you are wrong.
Well, I figured that wasn't right.
Nowhere. I mean, it's close.
It's literally going to be like a seesaw made in Bosnia.
When a man needs to pleasure 2 females at once, he straps on He puts a strap on backwards and thrusts it back and forth while one girl is bent over in front of him and one is behind him.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Okay, that's just at that point. Cut one of them out. That's too much work. Like you'd have
Is
to
it
focus.
though? I mean, because you're going in and out, and the other one's just back there hanging out.
I wish I had a camera on right now so I could post all the motions you're making here. That poor ottoman.
I know. He's got a snail trail when I'm done.
Ew.
Oh,
Gross.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do, I think, 2 more, and then I think we're done.
Oh, I think we were done a long
Oh
time
no,
ago.
no, because they get so much worse than this. Alligator fuckhouse. Sarah,
Well, let's let the person from Florida kick that one off.
right? It's one of the.
It's like,
reasons
oh, that's
I chose-
right around the corner.
That is a dorm at UF.
Oh man, that was good.
By the way, I'm an Ohio State fan, so that
Go Bucks.
makes
I
it
do have a
even
friend
better.
from Florida who's down there. He does a sports college football podcast. He's a huge Gators fan, and I'm going to make sure he hears that. That is awesome.
That is great.
College dorm
dorm
room
at
at
UF.
UF.
I'm looking to see if it is not a definition.
It
here,
should
but
be.
It should be.
You should add that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. All right, so she's going college dorm. What do you got?
Oh man, that was so good.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
I do my best, people.
I do my best people too.
I don't do any people.
Well, you had to at least twice.
Well,
Either that or you bought your kids.
not any. Well, that's
No, they're his.
If you do it right, you can.
100%.
If you do it right, you can do 2 people at once. You just need a backward strap on. You're
right.
good to
Bosnian seesaw.
go. What was the term again? Alligator.
Alligator fuckhouse.
That's where they breed alligators. I don't know. That's my boring answer. I can't think of anything else, and the dorm room got me.
All right. So an alligator fuckhouse.
Oh man, it's gonna be turn
A
it off,
daring
Mom.
sexual maneuver mid-coitus. They use the word coitus just for
Ah.
you. Mid-coitus, one person bites the neck of the other, locks their arms and legs around, and goes into a death roll while maintaining insertion, like downshifting a car.
Oh man,
Oh, don't think about it too hard, Sarah. Your head will explode.
I'm
You go to a
trying
death
to
roll.
envision how this would work, and I'm just epic fail. Is all I'm getting
that's
out
what
of
I'm saying.
it.
Like, where you? I mean, if you're on a bed, you're gonna fall off the bed. You'd have to be on the ground somewhere.
Just epic fail.
So the whole sentence, like the story behind this, where they do like the how to use the term. Sally, last night Johnny surprised me with an alligator fuckhouse, and I came for an hour and a half. I think the bite might have had left a scar.
That's
Look,
just
if you're
weird.
coming for an hour and a half, you are a motherfucking genie.
That is so good. Oh, so good.
I'm still trying to think of the logistics of it.
Okay, we've got 3 left.
I thought you said 2, like a question ago.
We did. There's only you guys are going to choose one of them. Actually, we have 2 left, and you guys are going to choose one of the 2. So I'm going to read. I'll give you both the terms, and then you guys can just pick one. Bathroom battleship or blasting ropes.
Bathroom battleship, military theme.
Bathroom battle. Is it battleship or battleshits?
Battleship with a P. P. So bathroom battleship. Randy.
Oh, I'm going first again.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with it would be when you're doing a group poop. So you'd be in a bathroom with multiple stalls,
Okay.
and you would call out your shots.
That's battleshits.
That's all I got, though. That's the only thing I can think of. So that's the definition I'm giving, hoping that it's close enough to get me a point, because bathroom battleship, I have a feeling it's going to be something way worse, but that's what I'm going with.
All right.
I think it has something to do with a male masturbation something or other.
That's
But-
what I was gonna say.
Well, then say your
when
answer.
When multiple men are in the bathroom
Speaking of the Navy,
masturbating at the same time.
Because that's
And-
what we do.
Right. Well, if you're in the Navy, maybe. Maybe.
is that what women do when they all go to the bathroom together?
They must.
What? No, we don't masturbate together.
Why? Apparently,
Seems like a
guys
waste
do
of
it.
time.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like a circle jerk.
I haven't figured that out yet. But yes, when they're masturbating together and they sink each other's battleships with their cum.
see, if I had my brother on here,
No.
it would not be near this funny.
No.
Because he wouldn't say any of that.
Oh, that's good.
He's so introverted. He's funny.
Well, we tried to get him on the air the one day, and he was like, nope, nope. So, you both are close because you both said bathroom.
Yes!
All right.
Randy said something. You said something about pooping, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When two friends are in a public bathroom in adjacent stalls taking
Group
dumps,
poop. That's a group poop.
each wipes his ass with toilet paper,
no.
then proceeds to toss the soiled toilet paper over the top of the stall into the friend's stall in an attempt to hit his friend with the soiled toilet paper. Similar to the game Battleship, except you use toilet paper with doo-doo.
Yeah, except you're trying to throw excrement at each other. That's nothing like Battleship.
Mom,
Hey, just like when we were kids. Just flinging crap over the stall wall.
Bombs away!
Mom, how'd you get doo-doo stains on your shirt and in your hair? Johnny.
How'd you get crap on the back of your neck?
Son, Johnny and I played bathroom Battleship at the supermarket.
Oh, my
that's
gosh.
terrible.
Oh, that's
gross.
bad. That's so bad.
So potentially they could do that one with the touching of the penis to the bowl while playing bathroom
They
Battleship.
could be getting the
They could-
angel's touch while they're
Angels
playing bathroom
touch
Battleship.
Two definitions at one time. That's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I'm
And
also
here's
glad we picked that one.
Me too.
here's the last one. It's not for either one of you because the minute I say it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's this." Amazon and anal.
That's like Netflix and chill. It's
Yep,
like you buy
that's
stuff
Yeah.
and then you
Exactly what it is.
put a
Netflix
strap
and
on
chill.
them. Apparently.
Netflix and chill? No, Amazon and anal.
Because you're still a virgin that way.
That's right. Because that all
Because
comes
it's not real sex.
because that comes from saddlebacking.
Right.
Yeah,
In the ear.
right in whatever orifice you can find.
Just the tip.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an episode.
This
was fun.
This is a good one. I like this one. You know what else I like? I like to drink whole milk.
Whole milk's delicious. I will put it in my cereal so I can chew it as I eat my cereal.
Ugh.
So apparently you have something against whole milk.
God.
Visceral reaction when you just say it.
Yeah, like she seriously like looks like she's about to hurl.
Best part is we grew up on whole milk.
So why
And then my mom.
she's gonna puke all over that mic. So what's the deal? Because she mentioned it downstairs while looking in the fridge. What's the deal with whole milk? Hold on, 2% milk,
It's fine.
skim milk,
Fine.
whole milk. she gags every time she hears it. Oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever.
It's fine. I saved it for the end.
Oh man, I'm in tears. I've never seen somebody gag from hearing the term whole milk. Every time. Oh man.
It's like she went to see a hypnotist, and he's like, every time someone says whole milk, you're.
Oh, I hope the mic's picking all this up. Okay, I have to know why. Like, what is causing this?
So when I think of whole milk, I used to drink a gallon of milk every 2 days growing up. Like
That's a lot of
loved
milk.
We went through a lot of milk
We
growing
went through
up.
a lot of milk. I love milk, and we drank whole milk. And I went.
She's seriously about to gag saying it herself.
I'm really trying not to. So I went to. Oh god. I went and grabbed the milk out of the fridge, looked at the expiration date because I'm a huge expiration date person. And I was
bougie.
like, right, but this was when I was white trash, so it's been there for a while. So I went and looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay, perfect. Well, it doesn't expire for like 4 days. I'm good.
That's good.
Oh, God. Poured a big glass of milk. I took a drink, and it was spoiled.
This might be the best story we've had from a guest.
And I was just vomiting profusely into the kitchen sink, and I couldn't stop. It was so bad.
So every other milk's fine? You know
Yeah,
it can go bad
just-
too, right?
Just the
Just-
It's like cottage cheese.
I mean, I've done it before. I've drank milk that has just started to go bad, and it was gross. but I don't gag. I still drink milk, even whole milk.
The best part is this is not even made up. It's not.
No,
staged.
this is 100%. Like, these are real reactions. She is not acting right now. I did something where I went and got Kool-Aid one time. And Kool-Aid don't go bad. It's all fake anyway.
Right.
So I got a giant glass filled with ice
sugar.
cubes. And I just got home from school. Poured this whole thing and took a big old drink and didn't realize it was V8 tomato juice. And I especially the kid did not drink tomato juice. I expected like red Kool-Aid. That was interesting. Or the time that I thought shells and cheese we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So my mom would make shells and cheese and put in some Tupperware bowl. I got home one day, wanted a snack, a little bit of shells and cheese. So I heated it up, put ketchup on it. Yeah, I know some people think that's weird, but I put ketchup on my shells and cheese and went to eat it, and it was like macaroni salad that I microwaved and put ketchup on.
Oh, that's gross.
It made me think of whole milk. Oh my goodness. This is the most fun I've had.
I want you to know that when I send people to the store
to get whole milk. Oh, you should have been recording this on the phone. This would have been good for the Facebook.
So when I send people to the store, like when Brandon and Liz come down for Christmas and things like that,
man,
and
I'm crying.
they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the store." I'm like, "Well, we need milk. What kind? The kind with the purple cap.
What's the purple cap kind?
1%.
1%.
At
Okay.
Publix.
Yeah, it's not whole
Go
milk.
to pub. Just,
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so glad you didn't warn me about this.
just,
Oh no, I saved this.
This
I
is
wanted to.
perfect.
just the thought of
Whole milk.
it, like,
Oh, I wish everybody could see your face.
it like reminds me of cottage cheese. Which also,
My nose is running. I'm crying over here.
it also kind of makes me want to vomit.
I thought for sure that one time you were about to blow Chuck. She was eyeballing the trash can. Like,
Oh, I know.
I thought you were going to lunch.
so
I can't. It's so gross.
So good.
What if you go somewhere and you order something at a restaurant and they give you whole milk?
I always make sure that it's like 1% or 2% milk. It's not whole.
Which sounds really weird. Like, if you're at a restaurant, they're like, what kind of milk do you have? Like, I bet they don't
Creamer.
get that.
I would like some creamer.
Right. I bet they don't get that question a lot. What if you're at the restaurant and you order something and you ask them what kind of milk they have and they say whole milk? You're trying so hard not to.
Then I don't get it.
You don't get the whole milk?
No.
No.
This is
No,
like
I will-
traumatized you.
Oh God, it's bad. And
This could be bad for our national security. We got soldiers that can't fight a war if somebody breaks whole milk.
Whole milk bombs.
Just the thought of it makes my stomach.
It's like an Ernest Scared Stupid where they take out the trolls using whole milk.
I'm getting kind of nauseous over here.
Your face was going from like
Like even when they tell you like, oh, when your kid's no longer on formula, give them whole milk. I didn't.
I've never given my kid whole milk.
I didn't. I gave them 1%.
Whole milk.
This is good. All right.
Is that the one with the red cap?
Yeah.
The whole milk? I cannot wait to listen back to this one. I may just fast forward to the end. Like, I don't even remember what else we said. I remember kind of what we talked about, but this has been my favorite recording with somebody so far.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite recording, period.
I keep burping.
You're going to hurl.
All right. Well, that's the end of the show. That's it. We're
Thank
done.
you for
We're
singing
done.
the national anthem and for serving. Thank you for coming up from Florida just to be on the podcast because I know you didn't come up to see him
No.
Right, absolutely.
because he drinks whole milk. Oh, man.
Check us out on Facebook at Buckhorn Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter, Buckhorn Podcast. You can email us at buckhornpodcast@gmail.com. Send whatever. I don't care. We'll read it
Send
online.
whole milk. Oh, man.
I will. I'll get the national anthem pinned to the top of the page so you guys can view that later if you'd like. And thanks to my sister for being here today. This is awesome.
It was fun.
It's awesome. So for Randy, Sarah, and Martelle, I'm Martelle, and we are out. Home milk.